Hi everyone, we are back. Welcome back to Global Dentist. Today we have such an amazing episode that I'm super excited to share with you.
We missed you so much. Today, we're going to talk about all the finance options for the international dentists who are moving to the US. We're going to give you a general overview of what's out there so you can pursue the path that's most suited for you.
So, first of all, usually when we talk about finances and getting to dental school, people ask about how can I afford getting to dental school? Usually they're like, okay, the hard part is getting interviews, getting like all the materials done for applications. And then the next question comes, how should we afford it? How much is the cost? And what are the options that we have to get into dental school? So,
So, the easiest way is if you already have a green card. Let's say you move to the US as a permanent resident. So, you already have a green card, or you are a US citizen. You were born in the States, for example, and then you studied dentistry somewhere else, and now you're coming back to work here. Well, in that case, you don't really have much to worry about because you can apply for federal loans, including FAFSA. That's a very wide and broad topic, but it's usually pretty easy for people who are permanent residents or citizens to apply for that. The university will then have to approve that you are in fact enrolled in that program, and then the government will give you a loan which has a much lower interest rate compared to the other loans that are out there, including private loans.
talking about private loans, so for there's some people that they don't have green card or they're not citizens, but still they got into dental school, and now it's the time that they need to keep the money and take the money to school. So what are the options that they have? So we have some banks and also we have some financial companies and finance companies that they're gonna help you. And first of all, the question that they might ask is like, do you have a cosigner? A cosigner is someone that helps you for us and for all people that they don't have their green card or they're not citizen. When they want to apply for a loan to different companies, they need to have someone as cosigner. So, what is a cosigner? It's someone that will help you through the process, and they need it. Some of companies they might need a cosigner that has green card, is a green card holder, or they need someone that is a citizen. So usually you can go and check the requirements in each company website so you make sure that you have the right co-signer. And then one more important that is important here is about their credit score and their credit history. So some of them they might need more than 700, some of them they might need more than 750, but it still depends on different banks and companies that we should go and check the website. So for those companies, you need to apply for the loan and your cosigner will do the application again for themselves, and then they will let you know if you're eligible for the loan or not. So they are different companies. And don't get disappointed if you don't have a cosigner because still we have some options for you. So for private loans, what are the options that we have? If you have a cosigner, there are different companies such as Sally Mae, SoFi, and also some banks that you already have your account with them. They can help you with the loan. However, there are some companies that they don't require having a cosigner for you. What are those? There are two important companies that I think most of us here and like a lot of people will use them is Prodigy and also Empower. Both of them you can apply for your program. However, the important thing is here that they don't cover all the programs that we have in the US. So you should make sure to check your program in their website. But still, I'm gonna tell you, don't be disappointed if your program is not there because sometimes you can email them and ask them to add your program. One more important thing is about when you're applying to those loans, they will ask you about your location and your address. Sometimes based on the address and the state that you are living, some of these companies would not cover the loan. So the best thing is try to do it as soon as possible. Usually we advise everyone to start the application loan as soon as the school lets them, like they're gonna send you all the acceptance letter or any letters that you need, and then you can start your applications.
For example, you can apply to Prodigy. Prodigy will give you up to $220,000 without needing for any collateral from you. They will give you higher even amounts of loans, but in that case, they will ask at least for a partial cosigner or something as a collateral. The other thing about them is that their interest rate is usually higher than what you can get for example, SoFi or Sallie Mae or at FAFSA for sure. And you need to fill out a form to see if you're eligible and if your school is eligible as part of the schools that they cover in their program. Empower is kind of similar to Prodigy. The difference is that they offer a lower loan amount. Their maximum is usually about 100,000. And again, the school needs to be a participating school. There are also some international institutions, for example, Leap Finance. It focuses mostly on Indian students and it's located based off India, but it works globally as well. Or for example, Lendwise, that is based in UK and provides financial assistance to students who want to go to the US dental school from European countries or from UK. So if you've completed your education over there, you can also look into these companies to see if they can provide you some financial assistance.
Perfect. So I just realized that we jumped into the finance and we forgot to give some life updates. So we have a quick update. Sadaf got she's graduated now and she's not in
Yes.
down school anymore. She's like, wow, congrats.
Thank you. Yes, done with dental school, got my license. I'm still not working. I'm taking a little break.
I love that.
But hopefully I'll start working soon, but it's definitely been exciting and I'm enjoying the break a lot.
Yeah, actually, I'm super excited for you because I wanna like I'm sure not it's not just me. I think everyone wanna hear about outside the school as well. Because even me, when I was applying, I was thinking, okay, what is that like after school? How should I work? What are the things that I should be concerned? What are the things that I should like learn, plan, everything? So I'm actually really excited for myself as as a friend to listen to your story, and I'm excited for people because I feel they will like learn a lot from the things. It's really nice to know. I know sometimes you don't need to know that much. It sometimes makes you stress out, but I feel it would be so nice to have this in our podcast and
Yeah,
our yeah.
absolutely. And the thing is that we should definitely do some discussions about the licensing process because even though it seems that it's all very simple, oh, I'm done, I did my exams, did my boards, graduated, I'm all set. The licensing on its own takes some time to do, and each state is very different. For example, from my co-residents, some of us, well, all of us applied to different states. So they had to do different things than I had to do. So it's important to know what you're up against, basically. And I think it'll be nice to discuss that at some point in more details for sure.
That's so true. Like the thing about US is like each state is kind of like a new country. You
Yeah.
have to always be like searching a lot to make sure because the other thing is they change the rules so often that like if you don't search, you won't be like so sure about all the answers that you have. And that's the thing because we have many paperworks, especially the timeline that we have for a license. We should be on top of everything. Literally, you should be like just searching and making sure, email them, like call them to make sure if you're in the right path, actually. But yeah,
Yeah, there
so
is light at the end of the tunnel.
yeah, so true.
Yeah.
So true. Sometimes I freak out about, oh my God, I should like do ADEX, I should do my
Yeah.
license. And I'm like, okay, just think about today for now, and we're gonna get there too.
Yes, for sure. So the other option, back to the finance part, the other option is some school-based loans. I'm not gonna lie, those are not very common, and there's not often times that you can get across a loan from your actual institution. But rarely they do offer some loans for dental students. For example, NYU does that, BU does that, Columbia University, and also UPenn are some of the schools that I know that do offer that every once in a while. You need to apply way in advance because everyone is applying for these things, and there's a very limited number of assistances that they will offer. In most cases, they will need at least a partial cosigner, a proof of future income, or like an escrow deposit to give you that loan. The other thing is that if you're already working in the US, for example, you move to the US with an H-1B visa, or you're in the process of getting your green card and you have an employment authorization document, some banks consider you domestic if you already have a social security number and you already have a credit history in the US. So it's worth calling your local banks, even the national banks, to see if, even if you don't have a green card or citizenship and you are working in the States, to see if they are willing to offer you some type of loan or financial assistance.
Perfect. So one important thing is like when you get you for example you get into dental school and now you're thinking about the loans. So you should be like, okay, if you're like if you got into a residency, is a little bit different from 2 year or like different advanced programs that we have. One of them is like there are many residency programs that they are not degree based, and actually they will offer you a certificate. So for a certificate, the main thing is sometimes you cannot, I don't mean like sometimes, most of the time it's really hard to get a loan for them, because most of these private companies, they would not offer a loan for a program that is certificate based. So what you can do, many of certificate programs, they will offer you to do a master's as well, just for the like if you are doing orthodontics, if you are doing peds or anything, usually they might offer you a master's as well. So if you can get the master, that master's will consider as a degree, you can use it for your loan, so you can apply for a loan. The other thing is many schools that they will help you to do a loan inter school. The thing with them, usually they will give you that loan for the advanced studying programs, not just for residency. The thing with residency is like they will consider you as a dentist that's been working. So residency, they will consider it as an elective program instead of advanced standing. That is something that you need to do to be eligible to work in the US as a dentist. So this is something that I really want to like mention, because I know there are many people that they apply, they pay for everything, they're gonna do deposit for the school, and they realize, oh my god, I cannot get a loan because this is a certificate based, I don't have any option for a degree. And then they're like, what should I do? And the other part about it, just make sure that the program you applied is a quota approved. Don't think that all the dental schools in the US are quota approved, or all the residency programs or even advanced standings are quota approved. You can just search on Google, check their website, and then they will say if they're quota approved or if they are degree based or certificate based.
Especially if you're planning to apply to AGD or GPR programs, there are a lot of them that are not CODA approved. So just be very, very careful when you're doing that, because even if you get accepted, you cannot get a license in the state with that certificate. But if you do get a GPR or AGD certificate that is CODA approved, you can get licensed in some states. Apart from all that we discussed so far, there are some schools that will offer you some scholarships or grants. For example, NYU, BU, Michigan, UPenn, Columbia, they do have some school-based scholarships for international students specifically. Again, it's going to be very competitive because a lot of people will want to apply for that. So it's again on a case-by-case basis, and there's not a high possibility of everyone getting that. There are also some private scholarships that I think anyone should apply to, like AAID, ADA Foundation, or some country specific dental associations. So you should be looking online for these things. I would say 99% of the time, the amount of the scholarship is not going to be enough to cover everything. It's just an assistance, mostly for your cost of living and things like that, to help you get through these years. But you do definitely need some additional way of finance to cover for your actual tuition.
Perfect. So one more thing that I want to mention is like not all the schools that you're gonna go or all the residency, they need like a fee or they have a tuition and fee. There's still some schools that they will offer stipend and you can get money, you can earn money with them. So don't think that okay, these are all the options that you have. If you check us check out like the previous videos that we have in our YouTube, you can see that we talk about the other programs that they will like. There are stipends, so you can apply for them and they get the money. So don't feel that okay, if I don't have cosigner or if I don't get any of these chances, it's done. No, that you have more options, but just have it on your mind that those that they are stipend, actually they're more competitive, because who doesn't like to get that money or earn that money? So just have it on your mind as well.
Exactly. Just don't lose hope. And one thing that I want to say, which might disappoint some people, is plan for the finance part in advance. Know what is your plan in case you do get accepted into that program. Because you don't want to be put in a position that you got accepted into your dream program, but now you don't have any way of financially managing to pay for that program. Most of the time, the schools are not super flexible with that. They might give you a little bit of leeway, but it's usually not that much. So be sure before even starting to apply, have a set plan. If you're applying for residency that's stipend, perfect. And if you get in, that's amazing. But if you're also applying to programs like IDP or residencies that are not stipend and they do have a tuition, make sure to know in advance what's your plan in case you hopefully do get accepted.
Okay, perfect. So one more thing that I think most of people, when you talk about finances, they might ask is about how much is a loan? Like how much is like, I know we talk about different like tuition and fees, but it's still are like, oh my god, how much loan should I get? And like they're like, how much is the interest rate? Is it okay? Can I pay it? Like, is there any refinance options that we have? So if you've watched our previous videos, we talk about that the, like different schools they have like from stipend till some schools that their tuition and fee is about 30K per year, till like schools that they're like 150 or even 250 per year. So it depends on the school that you're having, but have that range on your mind, and then you can apply. But the thing is, even some of private companies, they have a limit for the money that they're gonna like give it to you for your loan. So you can check it. Usually they all have it in their website. Some of them they have like 30K per year, some of them they have like 100, 200 per year. And the thing is, you can get a loan from two or three different companies. Even some people with the new law that we have for FAFSA, that from 2026 we have a limit for FAFSA. So how should you manage it? It's the thing that you can use other private loans. But why people they don't like private loans is because they don't have that option of FAFSA forgiveness that sometimes in the US happens. So they're gonna forgive your loan. So have it in your mind, and then next thing that they usually ask, as we said, it was about interest rate. That interest rate, it depends on the company that you're getting your loan, and also your credit history, and also if you have a cosigner, it depends on their credit history as well. That they can start from 5 till 6% till about 50%, 15%. That mostly those 15%, 16% are for the ones that are in private companies and they have a cosigner that might not have really high credit score, or you are applying for the loan, you don't have such a high credit history or credit score.
The other way is something that we can call it a creative option. It's very rare, but in some cases, some employers offer sponsorship. That means that they will become your cosigner once you're doing your education, but in return, once you graduate, you work for them and you pay them back. So if you don't have any of the other options that we talked about, you can still look into this option. It's going to be much, much harder to find an employer who's willing to sponsor you, and you need to be bringing a very valuable asset to the table for them to take the risk on you basically and sponsor you, and then you work for them once you graduate. But again, it's something that you can look into, especially if you know other people in the US who are in dentistry, older dentists who have had their offices for a long time. A lot of them do help younger dentists by co-signing for them or introducing them to other people who will give you personal loans and private loans. So there are many, many different ways that you can explore. You just need to make sure that you know what is the best one for you. Always go with the safest and cheapest option in terms of interest rate if you can. But if you can't, don't get entirely disappointed. There are a million ways out there that you can finance your education.
Yeah, that's a good thing about the US. For everything, you have different options. I know sometimes they feel like, oh my God, the paperwork is too much. How should I like do this, do that? And the thing is, if you search, usually you find another way. Even like finances and loans, we kind of cover everything that usually people do. But every day, literally every day, there might be new options. So you should just check because sometimes you cannot find cosigner like in the street, but still there are like different options, especially those that Sadaf just mentioned. These are nice fun that I've seen people do that, even like talking to different clinics and different even DSOs and telling them, okay, I have that option, and they might give you an option. Okay, you can do a contract with us for the next like 2 or 3 years after graduation, and then we'll be your co-signer. So the only thing that I can tell you is just try and like do as much as you can. I know it's hard, especially those days that you feel, oh my God, I did my part. I did all the hard work. I did like apply, I did the interviews, and I did like everything. And now that I need a cosigner, it's so hard to find. But the only thing is just try and like don't lose hope actually.
Absolutely. And if you know any other ways that you have financed your education through, or if you've used any of the creative options and it worked for you, please let us know so we can let other people know. Hopefully, they can use them as well.
Yes. Thank you, Sarah. I really enjoyed this session because I feel it's something that usually people ask us a lot, and it's one of our main concerns. Because even people, when they want to immigrate to the US and think about, okay, should I do it? They're like, I don't have that money cash. How should I pay? Like, I know there are many people, international people, that they literally pay the cash, like money, and there are people seeing them and they're like, but I don't have it, do I have any options? So it's good to know because there are many people thinking, oh, I don't have my, I'm not a green card holder, I'm not a citizen. So it's nice to know all of this. And actually, as she's Sadaf said, we'll be super happy if you know any other things so we can share it to others to give the hope to them as well.
Alrighty. Thank you, Rata, so much. This was an amazing one. And we'll
Yay.
see you guys soon.
Thank you, Sadaf. Have a good day. Yay. Waiting for next episode.
Bye bye.
Bye.